We aim to set themes that empower participants to learn as they compete. By engaging in the preparation process, contestants broaden their horizons and gain practical knowledge. This year's focus is on waste sorting and resource recovery, highlighting the importance of classifying, recycling, and reusing resources for a sustainable future. An introduction to this year's theme: promoting waste classification and sustainable resource recovery. Proper waste sorting and recycling are essential strategies for waste reduction and pollution control. By diverting plastics, metals, glass, and paper back into the resource cycle, we conserve energy and protect natural ecosystems. Widespread participation in recycling efforts lightens the operational load on municipal waste systems and decreases reliance on landfills and incineration. Ultimately, these collective efforts foster environmental resilience and ensure a sustainable future through resource circularity. Your robot must fit within a 60 by 40 by 40 centimeter space at the start, but there's no size limit after it sets off. The budget cap is $1,500 and it has to be battery powered. This challenge is specifically for students from grade 7 to grade 12. Now, let me introduce the competition field. The total area of the venue is 300 by 180 centimeters. Within this space, you'll see yellow and gray sections, each measuring 60 by 60 centimeters. For scoring, we have scoring blocks in 3 different colors: red, green, and blue. Each of these cubes is 7 by 7 by 7 centimeters. Additionally, there are 4 signal light pillars on the field. Each one is equipped with a button on top that allows you to change its color. As for their size, these pillars are 20 centimeters tall, with a base that measures 12 by 12 centimeters. Here is the walkthrough for your primary mission. The robot starts from the gray mat, but before heading out, you must press the button on the adjacent signal light pillar. The moment that button is pressed, the countdown begins, and the match is officially underway. Your main task is to move the scoring blocks from the center of the field onto the different yellow mats. Robots can also press the buttons on the signal pillars next to these mats to switch the LED colors to red, green, and blue. Now, here is the key to scoring. The color of the blocks on the yellow mat must match the color of the corresponding LED light. If they match, you score points. If they don't, the task is considered incomplete. You'll need to control your robot to complete these missions within the time limits to rack up as many points as possible. Here's a basic breakdown of the scoring. You will earn 10 points for each block placed within the yellow mat, as long as its color matches the LED light. However, if a block's color doesn't match the LED like you see in the image on the right, those mismatched blocks, such as the red and green ones shown there, will not count toward your score. But don't worry, any correctly matched blocks on that same mat will still earn their 10 points each. Also, a quick reminder, blocks inside the yellow mat can be laid flat or stacked on top of each other. As long as the color matches the LED, they are all eligible for points. Now, let's look at the stacking logic for advanced scoring. In case 1, the LED color is red. Since you have 2 red blocks stacked consecutively from the bottom, but the top block is green, only the bottom 2 layers count for points. In case 2, the LED color is green. While the bottom green block earns you points, the 2 red blocks on top do not count, because they don't match the LED color. The main thing to remember is that once the color sequence is broken, any blocks above that point won't be scored. Finally, let's look at case 3. Here, the LED color is set to red. Even though the robot successfully stacked 2 green blocks, they don't count for points because the color was wrong from the very start. However, keep in mind that this doesn't affect other blocks. As you can see, the red block sitting next to the stack still counts as a successful score because it matches the LED color. So remember, a failed stack only disqualifies those specific blocks, but correctly matched individual blocks will always get you points. Now, let's talk about the stacking score. For every additional layer you stack, the score for that layer increases by an extra 2 points. As you can see from the calculation on the screen, the higher you stack the blocks, the more the bonus multiplies. This means the taller your stack, the faster your total score will climb. When time is up, as long as your robot has returned to the starting area, you'll earn an extra 20 points regardless of whether you've finished all the tasks. However, if you're aiming for the time bonus, there are a few more requirements. First, all blocks must be placed on their corresponding yellow mats. Then, you must press the timer button in the starting area while there's still time left on the clock. If you do that, the remaining seconds will be added directly to your total score.
If your robot needs maintenance, you must first use the remote control to drive it back to the starting area. Once it's there, the referee will remove any blocks on the robot and place them back onto the field. During the repair, please remember that you cannot add any new modules. You are only allowed to fix the original structure. Once you're ready, you can restart from the starting area. Now, if your robot is stuck and cannot be driven back by remote, you must ask the referee for assistance to retrieve it. It is very important that you do not touch the robot yourself until the referee has recovered it for you. Now, let's go over fouls and disablement. If a robot breaks the rules, the referee will record a technical foul. Each foul results in a 10-point deduction, and these penalties can be accumulated throughout the match. Also, if your robot becomes incapacitated in the middle of the field, meaning you can no longer drive it back to the starting area, the referee will wait for a short period before removing the robot from the field. Please keep in mind that during both fouls and robot removal, the match timer will keep running and will not be paused. To wrap things up, let's look at the final scoring. Each team will have a total of 5 attempts, and your final score will be the sum of your top 3 scores. One very important thing, please make sure to register all your scores within the time limit. Any attempts that aren't registered will be counted as 0. As for the final rankings, we will follow the priority order shown on the screen. If 2 or more teams are still tied after comparing all the criteria, they will share the same rank. Lastly, please remember that all final decisions rest with the judging panel. That concludes the rules for this year's middlebot challenge. Please keep in mind that for any specific details, the written rulebook remains the official and final authority. Thank you.